The Tiger Moth was the British and the Commonwealth forces used, but this was the one used by the US Army Air Force, Air Corps, the US Navy as well. And it's a bigger aircraft. It is far more robust. You can land it from a greater height and not damage it. Powered by a variety of different engines, given different model designations with the types of engines. And they produced over 10,000 of these.
How many are still airworthy?
They are incredible because, well, if you've got 1,000 of them, they are still increasing. Went to in the southern states, I won't tell you where it is, but this is full of things being ready. Just pull one out, restore it, fly it. Like an industry over there rebuilding steams. A lot of them being rebuilt now out of crop dusting aircraft. Of course, that's a principle role following World War II. As you can see, the aircraft is very, very easy to fly. Things should buck a little bit. Centurion tank in still being modified operating. Many Jacobs, Rice, very reliable. She's right about the aircraft straight. Look at that. Slowing the machine. Aircraft was known as Illawarra biplane. So go and see Brisbane biplane adventures, and you can go for an adventure finally. They're just lining up on the runway, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the sound of these.
What have we got there, Endo?
Individual displays, and we'll describe to you what each of them did and how they were integrated. Get your cameras ready so that you can, and just take a look at how closely they are related. We're away, the camouflage flown by Glenn Collins. Down quite a few aircraft. Flying circus that has been going in New South Wales. Paul's been aviation, country town, Wales and Victoria and Queensland as well. He's got a trailer over there just near one of the DC-3s, so venture flight. Head over there and see the guys and gals in there, and I'm quite sure that Paul Bennett Air Shows and Aero Hunter can fix you up there. And if you don't have a hat, you can certainly grab a hat.
It's noticing something on the side of the Wirraway there, brown and white circle. Now we know it's an Australian aircraft that was made here, but when we look at the, let's say, the VIP jet in front of us, we know the colours of the Australian roundel are red, white and blue. Where did the red go?
You can blame the marking was changed in World War II to reflect the fact that the Japanese national marking, the Hinamaru, was all red. And basically any aircraft that spotted red on it, air-to-air or ground-to-air, because of the potential in the very early days, anything that was flying was Japanese pretty much. And they also developed another marking as well. They had white leading edges and a white tail on single-engined aircraft like the Aerocobra, the Thunderbolt, Spitfires. Those Spitfires even carried that. Wirraway being flown today by Glenn Collins. Now this craft, believe it or not, is a very, very close cousin of the T6 that you see up there. The Tim Flying Foot, I think Glenn was just doing a little bit of a filler because chronologically the aircraft you see up there now, flown by Tim Dugan, predecessor of the Wirraway.
So the fully made aircraft by the Commonwealth Aircraft Corporation?
Correct.
And ordered as an advanced trainer for the Royal Australian Air Force.
Right. Came out of this mission. This notion, quite rightly so, said never to have built a bad aircraft off in the late 20s, building aeroplanes at all, but they were a holding company for US Airlines, basically like the financiers. 1934 they started building aircraft and they came up with a machine called the BT-9, and it was an instant. And they produced another aeroplane which they gave the company designated to the NA-16. Ordered US Army Air Corps as a basic combat training aircraft. It was fitted with a machine gun, a 600 horsepower Pratt & Whitney engine in it, but some of the early NA-6 fitted with smaller engines as well as a fixed undercarriage. This particular machine model, so they were designated as the T6. Designation disappeared and they became the T6 or the training aircraft model 6. Over 15,000 of these were the pilot maker for the United States military during the Second World War. Absolutely, as the SNJ, US Marine Corps, by over 60 different countries over various periods. Used in the brush wars in Africa by the French and also by the Portuguese. This used to be known as conventional undercarriage because every aircraft had a tail wheel. It was used on the steerman, Gresham, the armament train. They had a single forward firing machine gun that fired through the propeller arc with an interrupter gear like you had it. They got series bomb. They could be fitted with 50 cal as well.
And the name difference, the English, they had a tradition of naming their trainers after establishments or there was an education reference in the name. So we had Provost, we had Proctor, we had Oxford, all these training aircraft.
Well, the personal Prince is a different thing, but the British took this up as the Harvard. They ordered the very first ones didn't look like this one. They looked like the Wirraway, and they did for a very great reason. Now, this aircraft, you can see it's got more of a trunk. The wing tips have been clipped a little bit. And there are subtle visual differences as well, like the side of the fuselage. The fuselage itself is a big, a steel structure, a big framework. But in the early ones, it was steel tube through. The panels on the side were originally fabric. There was a lot of maintenance involved in it. Big feeding as well, putting their feet through there. A lot of work involved in metal Australians went strain. Is that joke you see in a lot of military magazines and that, you know, Jones will see you at camouflage train more kisser.
Illawarra was the first aircraft of the CA, which systems had a very close relation with
Absolutely. It started off with the executive officers of major Australian companies like BHP, Holden, ICI, the Imperial Chemical Industries, Union Steamship, to break out. And they also said, we know the aviation industry will be a little run, but nothing advanced. So what we did is they operated, and the Brits decided to basically obsolete Fan Lysander, which was a very specific during World War II, but
not quite what we needed.
We wanted a general. So they went to North American, or Lawrence Wackett, who led the delegation, very astute, and said, this is the horrified British buying from the Empire. Fortunately, he had his way, and we picked up the license to produce that and variants, which became very important. So they started building these. The first in 9 squadrons broke out. Aircraft, it has fabric-covered sides, identical to what the Harvard fabric-covered sides over a steel tube fuselage. One important difference between the two types is A16, it didn't have any washout on the wings, and that was very important because at low speed the wings tend to stall. The engine running out of power, stopping to produce lift. And that was very way through 755. They didn't change the wing, whereas they got a better performing aeroplane. There's a very, very rudimentary way. The hydraulics, very early hydraulic system involved with these aeroplanes.
So it was you could say it was a trainer for pilots, but also for local aircraft manufacturers.
That's right. This had two vital roles, and that's why this aircraft's very important. It was called the Wirraway, from a local Aboriginal word meaning a challenge, and it certainly was a challenge in a lot of respects.
Well, also, to Australia's credit, there were a lot of design changes made, and this was better armed, American or Canadian, and used in combat.
2 forward-firing machine guns, whereas the Americans had 1. We also had the ability of light series bombs, of 22-pound bombs. The CA-16, and this CA-16 could also be fitted with diagonal above the wings, just above the flap area, and it could carry a pound bomb under each outer wing panel. So we used them with a couple of squadrons. Squadron went up to Malaya, and it was there before the outbreak of the war to train pilots to fly the Brits, pretty much an obsolete fighter. 24 Squadron was up at Rabaul, and they met the Japanese.
Heroic action.
Absolutely. I think there were 8 of these Wirraways opposed 100+ Japanese fighters and bombers, and famous message that went out from Rabaul from there, Nos Morituri Te Salutamus, which is
Those who are about to die, we salute you.
Yep. Gladiators farewell.
I believe the Japanese officer, one of the Japanese officers, said it was the most impressive feat of bravery he'd ever seen. It was incredible. And speaking of battle exploits, we see a manoeuvrable aircraft, not as manoeuvrable, however, as the Japanese Zero, but on one occasion, Ando, we know the Zero came off second best.
Correct. A guy called John Archer, he was flying over what they call the Gona wreck with his observer, and a Japanese fighter, single fighter, flew underneath him, and Archer did 2 rifle caliber machine guns, dived down, 1 pass, shot the air, and when he returned to his base, it was a bit of a forward base. Jumped out of the back bin, and they thought that Archer had been shot. What happened? They sent this famous signal back, and a lot of people have heard me say this before. Archer has shot down 1 Zeke, repeat 1 Zeke, send 6 bottles beer. Which they did, and that aircraft still exists now. It survived post-war training use in the RAAF, and it's now in the Australian War Memorial.
Where it belongs.
Yep. This aircraft is painted up as one of the 4 squadron machines that operated up in New Guinea. And of course 5 squadron also operated Wirraways, and they flew in the Solomon Islands. They were used for marking targets and what have you. The Corsairs of the Royal New Zealand Air Force, great cooperation there. We also used our Boomerang, which was the fighter version that was made out of this as a stopgap when the war in the Pacific broke out.
The Panic Fighter. And just to bring you back to 4 Squadron, they survive to this day, I guess, operating today's equivalent of the Wirraway, which is the PC-9.
That's right.
And in a very similar role in Army Corporation.
They are our forward air control training unit. There's a number of them on now.